see a lot of listening, being consistent, building trust, being willing to take risks and having honest conversations, meeting people where they're at, taking a long and thoughtful process. And as we move across the wall, we start to see what happens when we do that. We start to create relationships, respecting different cultures and communities. We work in a multicultural context. And what comes out of that is the community gets a chance to self-define, right? Identity is a big theme in this. And out of that comes ownership and empowerment, which is a word that we've sort of talked about, but also talked about the disempowering way it's used. But basically, the community begins to take ownership and see what they want to work on. But I saw some themes in the tension. So there were definitely themes with funding and funders, which are like competition, the power dynamic, lack of awareness about power, and then timeline and reporting, and what that sort of does to the work of community engagement. Then I saw some challenges with folks who actually practice community engagement, the workers that do that, and that was also mentioned in our group conversation, and that was about sort of this lack of healthy balance, lack of being paid, a high burnout rate that happens with folks that are working really hard within communities. And there are also challenges that come up within organizations that are trying to practice community engagement, and I sort of put those together as well. There's challenges between the organization and the community, so creating power within or external to the organization. And then there are challenges within communities, working within communities as organizations. So like, language barriers, childcare, mobile communities, and working on meeting needs versus like organizing or creating relationships, and sort of what it means to work within that tension. And then we have awesome solutions that seem to be mostly grounded in community engagement. Some that really stood out were storytelling and being open-hearted. And the way that that's a solution in terms of funding is creating relationships between organizations, right? Switching this dynamic of competing to actually working together. And then I also saw trust engagement, looking back and thinking about lessons that come out of things that don't work well, hiring staff within the community, and partnerships. And then we had some external questions to all of these sort of themes, questions about technology and how it plays in to community engagement, which I actually didn't hear a lot of big group discussion about, so it might be something worth talking about.